Here we go. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market, on the background stories, on what's going on in the world of football. And so let's jump into a new video. Manchester United, something to mention on Baleba, something to mention on Rasmus Hojlund. And then guys, I wanted to focus on Manchester United because I keep receiving many questions on Carlos Baleba, and I'm not surprised that Manchester United decided not to invest money on any other midfielder in the summer transfer window. I'm not surprised because I always told you here in the channel that my feeling is that Manchester United will keep their interest alive in 2026 for Carlos Baleba. They tried for Baleba in the summer transfer window this year. They tried, but from Brighton was a very clear no. They didn't want to sell the player. They didn't even want to indicate a price. So Man United at some point at the beginning of August were talking to Brighton and to the agents of the player. The player was keen on the move. But talking to Brighton, the approach was something like, okay, do you have a number? So we can think how to reach that number to try to get Carlos Baleba. But the answer from Brighton was no number, no price tag, nothing. We want to keep the player. And so it was impossible to proceed for Baleba. But I can tell you that for 2026, the idea of Manchester United remains Carlos Baleba. So I'm sure that he will not be cut off the list of Manchester United for 2026. They were very happy with the enthusiasm of the player in opening the doors to Manchester United, even without Champions League football, even without European football. Baleba was very open to joining Man United, and the club really appreciated that. For Ruben Amorim, he is considered the perfect midfielder. I told you several times how Ruben Amorim wants intensity in midfield, and Carlos Baleba is seen as the perfect player for the next step of the project. Then obviously we have to see how it will continue between Man United and Ruben Amorim, but the idea is to keep the name of Carlos Baleba very high on the list because it's a name approved by the coach, it's a name approved by the recruitment team, it's a name approved by the management, so they all want Baleba. It was not possible this summer, but Man United, instead of spending maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 millions on another midfielder that maybe they don't trust 100% or maybe was not available on the market, because sometimes in the market is also like this. You want to cover a position, but there is no player for that position, and so maybe it's better to save your money and spend in 6 months, in 12 months, or whatever. So the idea of Manchester United remains to keep close eye to the situation of Carlos Baleba, also for 2026, as they are very, very interested in the player, and they really appreciated how he was behaving during the negotiation, again, with Manchester United. Then guys, just to close on Manchester United, I wanted to mention something on Rasmus Hojlund, to clarify the numbers of the Rasmus Hojlund deal, as in the confusion of the final days, maybe that was not clear about the Danish striker who joined Napoli from Manchester United. Well, Manchester United received 6 million euros paid immediately, plus the coverage of the salary of Rasmus Hojlund for this season. So Man United are not paying the salary of the player this season, and Man United are receiving 6 million euros as a loan fee, which is good business for them. Napoli are very happy because they get a top striker, but they will have a buy option clause 44 million euros, so the potential package is 50 million euros for Rasmus Hojlund. This buy option clause can become mandatory based on Napoli qualifying to the next Champions League edition, so basically get in the top 4 of the Serie A this season, and then on the appearances of the player. So there is a number of appearances that has to be guaranteed in order for Napoli to trigger the buy obligation for Rasmus Hojlund. Man United are quite confident about that because the player also wants to move on a permanent transfer, not a loan. And so these are the numbers. Let me know, guys, what do you think about it? And as always, guys, thank you for being here. Remember to like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel, send in your comments on Estevao and Ballon d'Or, on Baleba and Man United, on Rasmus Hojlund and Napoli, on Paris Saint-Germain, Furious with Friends. I wait for your opinion, guys. Here as always, also like this video and be part of this family.